All right, so this is going to be a reading for Leo. And for the Leo that I am reading for today, I'm seeing that there was something really painful that went down in the recent past. This could have been something to do with your foundations or a structure in your life that you really relied on, something that you thought was really consistent, really stable, and it comes through as something you maybe thought was really going to be there forever, something you could lean on. Um, and then all of a sudden it came down. And now you're kind of dealing with the aftermath of that. The dust is kind of settling, or it's up in the air, it's about to settle, and it's causing you some stress of, how am I going to move forward? And not just from a logical perspective, but there could be this feeling of being stuck. You're still very much processing this ending. This ending is very much still in your energy, and it comes through quite heavy for you, kind of stressful. And we're going to kind of dive into the tarot and how you can move forward and all of that. But before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you would like to lend your energy to the channel so that I can manifest messages that resonate more with you, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings and you can email me. My email is down below in the description box. But let's go ahead and see what's going on for you, Leo. So I'm actually seeing with the Oracle cards today, which are the Fool, Experiencing, and Traveling, there's quite a bit of positive energy around you, positive momentum, positive movement. And it's time for you to open up to that energy and be really present for it. Many of you may be literally traveling, or you just may be in the energy of grounding yourself in your surroundings, exploring, being curious, and being fully present for that experience. And it almost looks like something needed to fall apart in order to kind of crack you open and prepare you for whatever you have moving forward. So if you're not literally like having travel plans at this time, that could be something that comes towards you. You could have unexpected travel plans, or there could just be things in your physical environment that it's important that you're open to receiving and experiencing. And so this may have been a sort of blessing in disguise where you may see whatever ending you're going through as kind of catastrophic or really painful, and that can be really real, but it's ultimately kind of ushering in a level of change that you may not even be aware of in your life and also in your energies so that you're ready to receive that change. This also, for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, this could have to do with like a third party situation, something like being cheated on or, multiple people being involved and you couldn't quite trust them or something. And I see you kind of making this very fast exit from that, or realizing all of a sudden, like, oh my God, this isn't working for me. I need to kind of remove myself from this situation, and kind of making a change. It's looking like it wasn't really an easy change for you to make. There could have been some anxiety around making that change, or you could still be in the midst of feeling that anxiety if you're still kind of in that process. But it does look like for many of you that you came to a point where you were like, okay, I do need to make that change here. This could have been spiritually guided for some of you as well. There could have been this almost like intuitive kick of like, oh God, like I have things I need to do. It comes through also as like realizing what's important to you and moving towards the opportunities that excite you, that spark your passions, that feel a lot better for you. And you kind of made this active decision of, okay, something isn't feeling good, and so I'm going to move towards what does feel good. And especially if this was like a confusing situation or something really abstract, or I'm almost seeing like someone who is entering a maze and just keeps running around the maze and running around the maze and realizes ultimately that they're not getting anywhere and this is exhausting and it's not working for them. And so I see you kind of making this cut and exit to something that makes a lot more sense for you, something you can put your hands on. Some of you may work with your hands, I'm getting. And kind of focusing more on what is tangible and what's going to be more supportive for your energy. let's see what it was that was so painful for you here. It comes through as a heartbreaking situation. I just felt my own heart kind of break a little bit for you, Leo. So if you are going through this, I really feel for you. There was someone here that you couldn't quite trust, and you come through as really wanting to build. That is very consistent in your energy. Leo is a very creative sign, so you could be a Leo who I'm hearing has their eye on the prize. There could be a manifestation that you kind of have underway. If it's not something specific, it could just be this sense of wanting to build a really good life for yourself, a life of positivity, a life of community, maybe a really positive home space. And there could be someone who may have expressed to you that that's what they wanted, but they couldn't follow through or it wasn't really true. And so someone may have seen the energy that you bring, that really grounded, forward thinking, hardworking, consistent, that 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles energy of, you're ready to put in the work and create something with someone else. And this person may have even thought or felt like that was what they wanted, but I'm seeing that it's more that they were attracted to that energy that you bring, Leo, and they weren't being totally honest about whether or not they could really show up and match that. And ultimately, I'm seeing that they either couldn't or they didn't, and that was what was really heartbreaking to you, was kind of realizing the truth about this situation, realizing like, okay, this other energy isn't going to match me the way that I wanted or the way that I thought they were going to. And that actually seems to be the heartbreaking part. It's not even that you're necessarily upset with the other person or the other people involved in this for anything. Like, you're not judging this person or these people for who they are, but you are hurt that your vision isn't going to include this. You're showing me I'm going to have to kind of work on this by myself or move towards that vision by myself, and that comes through as quite heartbreaking for you. And I'm seeing like as soon as you kind of realized what was going on here and stepped back and took a look at the truth of the situation, you were like, I'm out, which I think was ultimately good for you. You're showing me that's what I had to do. That was, this wasn't going to work with this other person. I don't know exactly the nature of their dishonesty, how malicious it was, but it comes through as ultimately quite a disappointment for you. And you're like, okay, time to make a change. Time to bring down that foundation that wasn't working for me. Yeah, you're kind of like, all right, I gotta keep all my ducks in a row. I know what I'm doing here. You have a very clear vision for the next step, and you come through with a pretty masculine sort of energy, whether or not no matter what your gender is. There's this feeling of like, with or without anyone else, I got me, and I'm gonna figure out the path forward. And even if you're not there yet, like you haven't fully built up whatever you're working towards, you have this sense of, I'm always going to take the next step in that direction, And what had to come down was maybe you started down this path in that direction and you realized, okay, these other energies are not matching mine. It's not going to work out the way I thought. So I'm going to have to start over. And I see you kind of bringing down the foundations in this and starting over. And honestly, I think you should be kind of gentle with yourself and really commend yourself for making what looks like a pretty tough decision, and ultimately sticking to the path that you know that you're on and that you know that you need to move forward with. All of that comes through very practically, though. You show me like this is what makes the most sense in order to manifest what I'm manifesting, in order to move forward and be honest and, accomplish my long-term goals, I have to leave this situation. And that may be true, and that may be very true for you, but there's also a sense of like your feelings and your passions that were kind of at stake here. And I see that when whatever this was came to a close or you brought it down to its knees, you realize like, oh shit, I actually have feelings for this whole situation, and that's hard. And I see that kind of being the energy that you're in right now of navigating the way that you feel, the way forward, after this ending. Some of you could be feeling like you're in a bit of shock with this. You're showing me I really had to make the right decision, I'm hearing, and that there was this feeling of, yes, this needed to end. And you're feeling that presently. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, this needed to end. And you're feeling confident in your decision. You're saying, I made the right choice, AJ. Like, this is what I had to do. I did it. It's done. Great. But that also brings about a sense of a huge change, and I see you kind of looking back at that change and wondering, was this the right thing to do? Did I do this the right way? Is everything going to be okay? It's not even that, because I know I just said that you're feeling confident in this, and I think that you are. I think that at the time and now you're like, yes, logically that's what I needed to do. I know I'm going to be okay, etc., like on a logical level. But then also I see you kind of second guessing and kind of saying, okay, like, how do I really heal this? And like, what does this change actually mean for me? You could be kind of missing these energies or feeling kind of lonely without them. There's something there that kind of needs to be healed or needs a little bit more love on your part in terms of, how you're feeling now. Let's take a look at that with the 10 of Wands. There's a heaviness here, for sure. You're just in a period where you are still working through the conflict of this situation. There's a part of your energy that's still holding on to it. You're still kind of in it, if you will. And so it's not like you're kind of in the depths of the healing process, and kind of the first part of the healing process is feeling really, really upset, and being very upset with how things went down, being very angry, maybe being a little bit obsessive. And it may feel like you can't really make sense of everything that happened here, and now you're just kind of in pain, which also, doesn't feel good. And that could be making you kind of obsessive. There could be some kind of stress around what's going to happen next because you haven't fully settled into what's already happened. The situation was really stressing you out, and it comes from the other energies involved. It's not really like I'm seeing you kind of did the best you could with what you had, and you had to make this change because whatever it was that you had established in those foundations or in this situation, it was like stressing you out to a level that was not sustainable. And so the tower had to fall eventually. I'm seeing that you brought the tower down, but that it was going to come down eventually. Let's take a look at where you're at right now. You're working on your healing, you're working on balancing out your energy, and you're kind of, like I said in the beginning of that energy, of that journey, of really balancing out, of stabilizing after what looks like a really destabilizing situation. And you're kind of showing me like this person that I really relied on, like they offered me something that I had to like completely reject. And so it's almost like I'm envisioning like a plane that experiences turbulence and then kind of wobbles a bit as it re-steadies. And it re-steadies for sure, but it has to move through the aerodynamics of that turbulence and stabilize itself, and I see you kind of in that process. You're very much working towards healing, but you do come back around to the struggle here, and you're kind of in the waters of that struggle. All right. Okay. There are some things you're struggling with, especially when it comes to the mind and like moving forward. Let's take a look at that. Oh, God, Leo, you're killing me. You're showing me, like, did they even love me? Like, did they even care about me? And I want to assure you, I don't think it's that this energy didn't care for you. I think it's just that they literally could not offer what they were promising. Because they're coming through as, like, a King of Pentacles, which is a very, like, stable, protective, providing kind of energy. They really promised you, like I got you, like I can take care of you, I can handle this. And then how they actually come through is as the page, which is this much more childish beginner kind of energy, and so someone who really couldn't show up the way they were promising fundamentally. And so it's not that they were a wolf in sheep's clothing, because I don't really think they were that malicious, but I don't think they were being fully honest with themselves about what they were capable of delivering on. And so you could be feeling kind of confused, and your heart's feeling kind of confused because you're like, I cared for this energy, I cared for them. Um, and the way it showed up was that you didn't get to receive the care that you were expecting from them or that they had promised. Um, and Spirit's asking you to be patient with yourself here and to take a breather, to take a rest from this situation, because it triggered a feeling in you of like, maybe like no one's ever gonna love me, or I'm not lovable, or something like that, because this person didn't come through. And that's the feeling that really has to be healed here, because that's not true. Like, you're very lovable, you're very much deserving of love. You don't have to worry, did they care for me? I think that they did. It's more just that they literally were not in the position to deliver in the material world, um, everything that they had promised. And it looks like, I think that they made those promises, and they suggested that they could deliver on that because they wanted to. Like, they wanted to be there for you. They wanted to be the energy that you deserved in this endeavor. Like, especially if this is a partnership, like, they wanted to kind of offer you everything, but they just weren't capable of it. And I see your thoughts really kind of rushing here. There's this feeling of like just really wanting like a relationship, a connection, like whatever it is that you're building here, like being like, I need something stable, and that's it. And kind of when you continue to ask yourself, is this going to be my source of stability? The answer is always going to be no. And you kind of hold on to asking, like, well, can I find my stability in this connection, in this relationship, whatever this is? And the answer is no. Like, it's shown you it's not going to show up for you, the way that you were expecting it to or you wanted it to. So it's really important that you take that information and you integrate it there. And that looks very difficult for you. It looks difficult for you to move forward from this. It looks difficult for you to integrate the truth about what this was, because at one point you really thought this was what you wanted. You really thought this was going to be supportive to you. You thought this was going to be stabilizing. And now you're kind of having to integrate that understanding of, oh, wait, no, it's not, And so Spirit's asking you to be kind of radically honest with yourself about what you did experience here and what you are currently experiencing. Why didn't this work out, essentially? Like, take a real look at that and allow yourself to be upset over this not working out. And Spirit's kind of showing me you deserve someone who can really match your energy. And you are, I'm hearing, like, expensive. And not expensive in the sense of like monetarily someone has to buy your love. No, expensive in the spiritual sense of you have a rare vibration, Leo. You probably dazzle, you probably charm, you probably have a lot going for you, and you may not even realize, how much you have going for you and how special you are, and you deserve someone who can reciprocate your energy, someone who can make you feel good, and it's going to require you, in order to receive that, it's going to require you to reject that which does not match up with that, right? Like, if you're spending time and energy on one thing, you're actually holding yourself back from connecting with other things. And there are other things that want to come in here for you. I'm seeing that there may be someone on your path who is actually going to kind of match your energy, and this may be someone that you meet when you're traveling. You're showing me, well, yeah, that's just not true, or that's too good to be true, or what I actually want in a partnership or a commitment kind of situation, it's not possible. But I'm seeing that it is possible, and it's coming in very quickly for you. For many of you, that could be within the 3 months, I'm hearing. 6 weeks to 3 months. It could be a soul connection. It's definitely something that is destined for you. I don't usually get that much information about the future, but I'm getting goosebumps here as well. And I'm seeing that you're kind of interested as you're listening to this. You're like, wait, what? Who? And you should be interested because there's something really good coming in for you. And Spirit's asking you to take this time to recuperate, to heal, because your energy is going to need to be wide open, and you're going to have an open heart, and you're going to have to be very present in order to fully experience this gift that's coming in for you. And it's not going to be necessarily something that you see coming or that makes, total sense within the trajectory of your life that you planned out for yourself. You may start feeling like you're back on your feet, you're happy being single, or you're happy working on this alone. You don't need to bring anyone back into your Ten of Pentacles, your kind of foundation here. You're moving through that, and then bam, there's this soul connection that comes through. And Spirit's saying it's going to be a great opportunity. Ace of Pentacles, it's going to be a golden opportunity, and they want you to be open to it. So try to heal this for yourself so that no matter what connections come through, whether it's a love connection, whether it's business opportunities, whether it's a dream come true, you're going to want to be open to that energy. So allow yourself to go through the healing process and to move through this for yourself so that when things come through that do feel good, you can be fully open and receptive to them. So that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that this helps. I hope that it resonated, and I'll see you next time.